And Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Welcome, everybody. Hey, listen, if you plan on just skipping the video, that's absolutely fine. Because I only got one thing to tell you. Don't give up. Don't give up on anything that it is that you're doing in your life. I know things are hard. I know things are down and out. But still, don't ever give up and keep moving forward. And God bless you. Because the things that we're going to be talking about today, the things we're going to talk about on tonight's episode of Brutally Honest is the seeds of success. Listen, we've all gone through it. We've all gone through hard times. We've all gone through times that we're down and out, that we feel like there's no hope or nothing like that. And I posted a video and I'm asking people, what is it that keeps you going? What is it that keeps you waking up from bed? And the majority of the people was telling me it's their kids, and I completely understand that. But the truth is, there's only one word that can describe why it is that you keep moving forward. And that has to be desire. It has to be. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the seeds of success. We're going to talk about how in every failure, we're going to talk about how in every defeat that we go through in life, there's an equal advantage. There's an equal opportunity. And that's what I mean about the seed of success. You know, I'm over here, I'm talking from experience. This is not just a philosophy that I'm trying to teach people and I'm trying to implant in people's heads. This is just my perspective on that I'm trying to let people know so that I can help them be successful, be happier, and keep a smile on their faces. Because a lot of people be like, oh, why you talk so arrogant? It's like, the reality is I'm talking from my own personal experience. You know, this is Michael Marte. Stitches NBC, Brutal Keith will be back next week. This is Michael Marte, and I'm going to tell you a lot of impactful stuff that's going to help you out with your lives. And I'm trying to talk to y'all, this is me. I'm trying to connect with y'all right now. So I'm going to tell y'all that this is from my own personal experience. You know, I say something like, first I lost my brother. No love from my father. Raised by my mother. So many things that bother. You feel me? I didn't have my father growing up. Not that he wasn't there. You know, he was always working, but he was not around. He didn't show me that love. That to me was something that impacted my life. But what did I decide to do with that pain, with that emptiness that I was growing up? I decided to stop the cycle and make sure that my son knows that I love him. Make sure that my son knows that I'm there. Next, make sure that my son knows that I'm always going to be around and I'm only one phone call away for both of my kids. That's how I changed. That's how I stopped the cycle. That's how I learned from what it was that I was going. But it was deeper than that. It wasn't just me stopping the cycle. It wasn't just the change. It wasn't just the change within myself and the change within the future that I'm building. I had to change the past as well. So instead of me always complaining about my dad never told me he loved me, I decided to tell my dad that I love him. That's how you stop it. That's how you go in deep. That's how it is that you resolve the situation. Because let's be honest, complaints do nothing. Complaints resolve nothing. There is absolutely nothing useful that comes from complaining about something and complaining about this and complaining about that. If you're not willing to do something about it, it has to be desire. It has to be desire. And even with raising our kids, like sometimes we go through things in our lives that affects us. Sometimes we implant our own insecurities on our kids. Sometimes we tell our kids, oh, you're not responsible enough. Sometimes we tell our kids, oh, you're just too messy. And we just keep on encourage them that insecurity and encourage them flaws instead of talking to our kids a different way. Instead of being like, oh, you're so irresponsible. Why don't you give that person, I'm talking with myself too, I'm not excluded, but why don't you tell your child, give them some responsibility so they can prove their responsibilities to you? This is what I mean about stopping the cycle. This is what I mean with every failure, with everything that happens in your life, you can turn it. The reality is there is no bad and there is no good. Everything is neutral. Now, the mindset that we need to have is two mindsets. One is we need to get comfortable with failure. We need to be comfortable with failing. We need to be comfortable with trying as hard as we can and falling even harder. We need to be comfortable. We need to have that courage to take the risk of everything that we need to do in our lives to become successful. We need to do that. That's on ourselves. The second mindset that we need to have is our mindset, meaning our belief. We need to believe that we can attain it. We need to believe that we deserve it. Matter of fact, even bigger than all of that, we need to believe that it's already ours. If we believe that it's already ours, can't nothing diffuse that spark. If we believe that that's already ours, can no one discourage us. If we believe that it's already ours, those dreams, those goals, those wishes that we've had, if we believe that we already have it in our hands, can't no one, and I mean no one, take that from you. The difference is about wishes. Wishes don't respond to wishes. Your hopes and your dreams need to be surpassed by your burning desire. Your desire is what's going to keep you moving forward. Your desire is that's not going to make you care about people putting you down and people criticizing you, because we all know this. We've all gone through this. People want you to do good. Te quieren ver bien. You know, they want to see you do good, but they never want to see you doing better than them. And this is not for everybody. This is just, a lot of the people that we've come across. Obviously, it's not everybody, because, sometimes we have some good people they didn't actually believe in us. Let's hold on to those, because those comes in a few, Now, how I was saying, like, complaining does nothing. Blaming others is useless. How you react to the situation will you determine your success in your life. And I'm going to repeat that. Your reaction to any situation is going to determine your success and your happiness in your life. Your reaction is going to be dependent on your perspective. If you can open your eyes, if you can open your mind, if you can, for a moment, and bear with me, close your heart for a second. What I mean by closing your heart is not running by emotions and actually thinking with a clear head. You could do anything that you want in this world. We need to be able to profit from our mistakes. And the thing is, a lot of times people tell me, but I've tried this, Mike, and I've tried that, Mike, and it's not working. Things just never seem to work out for me. And I'm saying, like, but are you doing the same thing? That's insanity, thinking you're going to do the same thing and expect different results. If you're doing the same thing, how can you expect different results? This is how you need to change that. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is how you change this. Let go of the old you, develop a new you, and you will have different results. And they be telling me, like, but how do I do that? By learning from your mistakes. There's a lot of positives in learning from your mistakes. For one, let's say, I'm just going to mention 3 off the top of my head. You can scratch off the list. You can scratch off the list things that didn't work out. Things that you thought was a good idea and turned out like, you know what, maybe I should try this another way. That's positive in feeling of something. Another thing, it's a learning curve. You learn how to do things better. You learn how to get what it is that how you want it if you would have done things differently. And the last but not least, that leads me to the point I was just making as far as developing yourself, awaken. It awakens who you really are to your true you. Because when you fall down and you felt like you had limitations, or maybe you thought you didn't have limitations, now all of a sudden, now you realize that you do. Now you realize on what it is that you need to work on. That's about awakening. That's when you discover who you really are. A lot of times we say to ourselves, I'm this and I'm that. But maybe it's just a mask that we're putting out for society. Maybe it's our emotions talking. Maybe it's how we felt at that moment because of the people that we are around. Maybe it's a persona that we're trying to portray to others. And maybe it's just a shell that we've been enclaved in for so long that we call it home. We call it normal. When the reality is we haven't been ourselves for decades. We've been so inclined to believe a certain belief and go by how things are supposed to be that we can't even be unorthodox. Now times we can't even say we don't like a certain artist because of the ridicule we might receive. This is what I'm talking about. Don't worry about you falling down. What really matters is you getting up. And when you realize how was it that you got up, the steps you needed to make to get up. Oh snap, I needed to put my left foot up first because that's strong and that balances and can hold up my weight for my whole body. For me, and I'm just using that as an example. Like, these are the things that's going to help you awaken yourself. You have to do whatever it is that you have to do, and you have to do it today. It has to be today. It cannot wait till tomorrow. It should have been yesterday. And what I mean by that is, like, you know how some people, and maybe I was like that, maybe some of you guys was like that too, you know, sometimes we'll be like, I'm just waiting for a good thing to happen. You know, I'm just waiting for my luck. I'm just, you know, like a lot of Spanish people will be like, oh, que me saca la loteria, you know, like I'm just waiting to hit the lotto and things like that. And now you're 40, now you're 50, and now you're 60, waiting. Like, what was you waiting for when everything that you already needed, it's inside you? When everything that you was already waiting for was already in front of you. You was just waiting to catch a break. Listen, every successful person will tell you this. They've gone through bad times. Every successful person will tell you they failed more than what they succeeded. And y'all can disagree with me on that if y'all want. I actually open disagreements and agreements and feedback on like, comment, share. If y'all really feel exactly what it is that we're talking about here. You know, it's Michael Marte, Stitches NBC, and Brutal Keith will be back next week, 7:30 every Tuesday. Today we're talking about the seeds of success. Today we're talking about how it doesn't matter how hard things are. If you have the desire, and not just the desire, if you have that burning desire, and I'm going to emphasize on that burning desire to succeed, you're going to do it. Whatever it is that you really want, you're going to be able to do it, but you need to have those two mindsets, that you need to be comfortable with failing, and you need to have that belief system that it's already yours, like it's destined for you. When you have that belief system, can't no one knock you down. The thing is that we need to change our perspective on things. Let's say there is no good. Let's say there is no bad. And I love the fact that I got the life is balanced symbol behind me and tatted on me too. Let's just make believe that there is no good and that there is no bad. Let's just for a second, guys, just for a second. Let's just make believe it's all neutral. And it just depends on how you look at things. For an example, I'll give two examples. Let's give the $1 million example. Two people hit somebody hits the lotto, $1 million. Wow. Most of us are going to think, oh my God, that's amazing. That's great. That's probably the best thing that happened to that person. Now that person pays off all his debt. He pays off all his family's debt. He's able to get himself a nice car, be able to buy himself a home and his parents a home and his stable. Matter of fact, he or she was even smart. They reinvested some of that money. Now they have a sustainable business for their families and generations to come. Wow, that's a good thing, right? But let's say that $1 million goes to another person. Bad money management. Now they're into drugs. Now they try to maintain a lifestyle where entourages and nice cars and a mansion where bills and utilities that they can't even afford. Now the money runs out. Now they don't have no way to sustain. Now everybody leaves. Now they're back to themselves. Now they're back to square one. Wow. It seems like that $1 million ruined that person's life. This is what I'm saying. Like a lot of times we tend to compare ourselves to other people. We like to compare ourselves to other people's lives as if we are living by the same blueprint. As if I'm in the same time schedule as you are. As if, oh my God, we're the same age. I should be having the same things you have and all this. Like, do we have the same lives? Do we fit in the same shoes? Have I gone through everything you've gone through and vice versa? Was you born into a better opportunity that I was? Matter of fact, did you make better of your opportunities than I did? Yeah, I'm over here comparing myself and I'm over here living unhappy because of how good somebody else is living. When the reality is, we really don't even know. A lot of times we look at houses, right? And it's a beautiful house. It's 3 stories and balconies, and wow, those windows are clean. And you go inside, they don't even have a kitchen. You go inside, that they still working on the floors, that the pipes ain't even cooked up. Like, they don't even have a water system, and yet we're comparing to what it is that we see from the outside, disregarding what it could be, disregarding like the grass is not always greening on the other side, disregarding certain things, comparing ourselves to other people's. I'll give you another example. Let's say somebody loses a job. To most people, that's a bad thing. To most people, that's a defeat. That's a struggle. That's a failure. You just lost your job. Wow, what are you going to do now? How you look at it, though. Maybe you lost that job, and now it's opening your eyes to new opportunities. Now it's opening your eyes to new adventures, endeavors that you didn't even know excited you and grabbed your interest. Matter of fact, maybe it pushed you to the point that now you realize, you know what? I'm not meant to work for nobody. I'm meant to work for myself. Now you realize, because you was unemployed, now you realize you're supposed to be a business owner in the first place. But no, if you don't got that perspective, if you don't feel like nothing's good and nothing's bad and everything is neutral, and you look at every situation that happens in your lives, you'll be able to deal with it. The reality is, like, if you have that mindset, you won't be afraid of bad things happening. The reality is, things happening is inevitable. The only thing that can change that, the only thing that can determine the factors of it, is how you react to it, your reaction to it. We need to learn how to profit from our mistakes. We need to learn how to correct our mistakes. We need to learn how to become a different person. Be who you are. Be yourself. Don't live for others. Don't live because of other people's opinions and because of other people's ridicules. And just do what it is that you got to do. But you also have to be accountable for your actions. You have to be aware. You can't keep on making excuses for your failures and your defeats as to why things didn't work, why this and why that. Let me ask you guys this. If y'all watching live, press 1. If y'all watching on the replay, press 2. But let me ask you guys this. Do you go through hard times? Have you gone through the same hard time multiple times, and the way you reacted to it gave you a different result? Simple. I've gone through a lot of hard times in my life, to be honest with you guys. But a lot of times I've gone through the same thing. And it's only when I make a difference or when I make a change at the end is when I'm not going through the same thing. I'm not going through the same pattern. You need to learn how you are. But as I was saying, you need to be accountable for your actions. A lot of times we make up excuses as to why things don't work. We come up with, let's call it alibis. And the reason why we protect our own alibis so hard is because the alibis are children of our own imagination, which is why we go so hard to protect our excuses as to, oh, we all got excuses. We come up with, oh, if I was younger, if I had more energy, if I had more time, if I didn't have to pass, maybe if I was born rich, maybe. All this what ifs. What if? Damn right, what if? It's not about what if. It's about what is. It's a thin line between being aware, being cautious, and just being plain paranoid. There needs to be a balance with everything. You need to have that burning desire. That burning desire is what keeps you going. We need to be aware of the hidden opportunities. That's how I was saying with the examples I was saying. A lot of times we go through different things in our lives that we're so clouded with the way we feel with our emotions that we can't even think straight now. We're so overwhelmed. And then some of the people that we talk to, they're not even the type of people we should be talking to in the first place. Because, wow, I felt bad. I just spoke to you. I feel worse now. I should have just kept it to myself. You know what? maybe you should have just kept it to yourself. Because how I was saying before, the answers is already inside you. Seek it, search it. How? By finding yourself. How do you find yourself if everything is always good? How do you know what you don't like if you don't come across what you don't like? That's a serious question. You need to be aware. You need to awaken yourself. The reality is defeat is only called defeat when it's accepted. Only when you accept defeat is when it's accepted. I was talking to one of my close friends, and he's in sales, and he was telling me he had a great week. He's having an awesome week. Matter of fact, it's only Tuesday, and the beginning of his week is better than what he's had for the past 6 months. I was like, wow, bro, I'm happy for you. And I was like, how was the last 2 weeks? Because, he was telling me like it was rough. And I was like, yo, so how was the last 2 weeks? He was like, yo, to be honest, bro, it was the hardest 2 weeks that I ever went through. I wasn't making no money. I was behind. Man, I felt like giving up. And I asked him, what is it that kept you going? He was like, I don't know, man. To be honest, it's just, I know that I'm good at this. I know, like this is what I'm good at. And eventually things will turn. I was like, wow. I'm glad that you told me that because I'm actually going to put it on the show. It was just that desire of being successful. You already knew. You already had that belief that this is what you are. This is who you are. This is how good you are. And can't nobody take that from you. So guess what? You're going to succeed whether they want you or not. Be a strong believer in the law of attraction. Like even me by myself, I had a good job and I left it because I thought I had a better opportunity somewhere. And then I will go through that better opportunity and it was horrible. I thought I was making more money. The reality is I was making less because of the time and the gas and the effort and the stress and everything else. I was turned out to be making less and I felt bad. I was like, man, I should have never left and all this. And all of a sudden, just my faith and positive energy, I get that call. Hey, listen, we're still interested in having you back. You could get a raise. This, and that. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, you don't know how bad I was about to call you. I ain't tell them that. I was like, you know what? I'm actually employed right now. I'm responsible. I'm going to give them a 2-week notice, because you got to be responsible. You got to disimular un poquito así, right? So I'm going to give them the 2-week notice and I was go. But the reality is that was God answering my prayers. So I go back and I get a raise and I'm making almost $1,000 more a month. That's pretty good. The thing is, you could want something. The thing is, you can have a desire for something, right? It doesn't end there. The last step is that you have to be willing to accept it. You have to be willing to receive. You need to have your eyes open. Once you have that, you're going to be able to see all these hidden opportunities that they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I mean, I'm not trying to get religious or anything like that, but I've always said if God opens the door, he makes sure he leaves the window unlocked. You just got to make sure you find it. Reality is you have to make sure you find it. Like I always say, he can wake you up in the morning. It's your job to get off of that bed and do what you got to do. Wishes don't respond to wishes. It's your burning desire that will make you successful and keep that beautiful smile on your faces. Tune in next time because I'm going to be talking about the value of things. I know a lot of times we go and we have so much people around us that they're so pessimist. They're so full with negativity. They always like to put you down. Not literally just put you personally down, but they put themselves down and you just are influenced by that energy that now you're affected by it. We all have people like that around us. We all got things we could complain about. We all see the negatives. For a moment, guys. For one moment. Let's value those that actually show love. Let's value those who actually are there. Let's value those that actually do support and are positive and are willing to help you grow. Not just that, they want to see you be the best version of yourself. We're going to talk about value. We're also going to talk about she wanted love, but she settled for attention. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy, Michael Marte. Stitches NBC. Brutal Keith will be here next week, Tuesday. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all.